And in our church, we have what we call spiritual parents. All of you that are new have a spiritual parent, right? Is that correct? Okay. Robert's father was my first spiritual parent. Spiritual child, I'm sorry. And I don't know when I met him. 76 maybe? I'm giving my age away. We met a long time ago in San Francisco. So Robert's my spiritual grandson, and David is my great-grandson. So it's nice to be here. Okay, so I prepared something that was entirely wrong. I realized when I came that what I prepared is not at all appropriate. So I'm going to try to share something that is appropriate. But the question was, what is God's heart for this time? So what is God's heart even for today? For while we're here. Let me read this quote. It's from our true mother, Holy Mother Han. It is essential that all people of the world are educated at the Chunwon Gung, learn the truth and the work of true parents, receive the blessing, become children reborn, and live full and abundant lives on earth. So the key point of this message is to receive the blessing, become children reborn, and live full and abundant lives on earth. So this is God's message to us today, right? What has God's message been from the very beginning? Pastor Jack, what did God say to Abraham? Be fruitful, multiply, and subdue the earth, right? So, be reborn, live full and abundant lives on earth, right? Same message. What does it say in John 3:16 in the Bible? Right. So for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Same message, right? And we have a motto for our church, our national church. And what is it?
God's dream, one family.
Right, God's dream, one family. So if we think of what God told to Abraham, it's the same thing, right? My dream is one family united in love that can live a full life. Let's see if this works. This is another example of God's heart. When we think about building a family, which is what we're doing here, that's what we are here. We're the Indianapolis Family Church. So this shows so much about God's heart. What is this depicting? Anyone know? Right. This is the parable of the lost lamb. Jesus said, if one is missing, if one out of the 100 is missing, I've got to go find it. Even if I have to leave the 99 behind, I'm going to go find the one lamb. So this is God's heart. Just another example. What is this one? The prodigal son. We know that story, right? The son chose to live a life that was completely against the father's will, against the father's heart. But the Father welcomed him back. Unconditionally. So we're still living in the same age. Recently in Korea, our church celebrated the opening of this place. It's called the Inner Sanctum. What does Chung Won Gung mean, Hibangja?
Garden.
Who knows? Yes. It's like that. The Palace of Heavenly Heart or the Garden. I don't know the exact translation. But this was a significant development for us. And not only is this type of thing being prepared now, but also in the same place, you see that there's an entire environment being created. There's the internal and the external. So what's happening now is that, preparations are really being made to establish the heavenly kingdom. I'm just showing you a few of the slides that I had prepared before. So what is the most important thing for us, though? We can see what God's heart has been throughout history. What should our heart be today? So, in the midst of these changes, first of all, I think we should have gratitude, right? Secondly, we should really be focused on attendance. And third, we need to be convicted. Grateful that we have a chance to be here. Grateful that we're born at a time in history where we can worship freely in a nation that allows it, right? Who feels grateful for that? Also, we've been learning that the value of this church is that we were founded by Reverend and Mrs. Sum Young Moon, who we affectionately called our true parents. Why are parents important? Why are the true parents important? Bill, I'm going to ask you. Or were you going to say? Okay, Reverend Takami. Why are true parents important?
Why true parents important?
Right. No. Because in order to have a family, you have to have parents, right? And without going through the biblical history, we know that in the beginning, we lost our parents. But the last thing is conviction. So we're not a normal church, for those of you who are new. In that we don't just come to church to socialize, and we don't come to church for the education of our kids, although those are important parts of it. But we're coming to church because we really want to work together to bring other people home. Those of you who are new, do you feel like you've found a home? Good. How about you old guys? Do you feel like you're still at home? Some of us have been here a long time, but it still feels like home. So, we're making changes right now around the country. So Pastor Ibangja and Grace are going to Chicago. Pastor Robert, is that your name? Okay, Pastor Robert and Tomomi are coming here. In other places around the country, we're also making changes. We're changing to younger leaders. But our desire in the next 2 years is actually to establish 30,000 members in our church throughout North America. That's Canada and the USA. Who are really attending, who are really convicted, and who are really grateful. Because we want to save this nation, we want to save the continent, we want to save the world. And what I mean by that is the same thing that Jesus was to do, right? Jesus came to save the world so that we could have abundant life. And our mission is to reach out to others and try to share that same vision with them. So my prayer is that as we make the changes here in Chicago and also in Indianapolis, let's create that environment here. An environment of gratitude, of attendance, of conviction. Please support your new pastor. Please realize this is his first time pastoring. He's never done it before. And in reality, his success is based on you, don't you think? You know, a subject is only as good as the object. So please support them. They have a beautiful child. You know what it's like to have is he 2 yet? You know what it's like to have a 2-year-old, right? Please help them. Please let David run around and make noise. It's a joyful noise. Can we do that?
Yes.
If we think about God's heart, that's what God's looking for. And God is supporting each of us so much. So, that's my message. Thank you.